Well, we're going to stay a while longer on happenings within the National Democratic Congress. We find out what's been happening over the past 24 hours. We've been joined on the phone lines by the General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, Asiedu Nketia. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. Help us explore why some delegates and even aspirants could not find their names on the register in some centers.
Yes, we are aware of some voters having difficulty in locating their names. Particularly, what was significant was when the problem affected some aspirants.
Can you update us on the Kumbungu process, which was postponed due to protests for the deletion of some 440 names from the register?
Come again. I'm on the way to Accra on the highway, so if you could speak louder.
We understand that in Kumbungu, for instance, it was postponed because there was protest over the deletion of some 440 names. Are you aware of that situation?
Yeah, aware of the postponement, but you know we were aware of some challenges with our data system, so we put in early warning signals that whenever any such problem lead to a major crisis, we quickly call off the election so that we solve the problem before we go back to the field. And what happened in Kumbungu also happened in about 10 constituencies in Ashanti region, and because of which we suspended the election there. And as I speak to you, some of the problems have been resolved, and hopefully tomorrow all the elections in Ashanti would be conducted.
Let me take you to one of the hot constituencies, which a lot of people have been keenly monitoring since campaign began, the Ningo Pram constituency. Sam George on the one hand and E.T. Mensah. I'm sure you've heard all the allegations traded against each other today. Sam George reported of being harassed, abused. He's got a swollen eye. They've had to postpone elections there because apparently some judges alleging some people are not on the voters register. What do you intend to do as a party? I've heard the regional chairman, Adekoka, suggest that some judges' allegations are untrue and that he's going to be facing disciplinary action. Is that a consensus being reached by the party?
Well, let me tell listeners that I've not been in Accra for the whole day, where we assigned ourselves across the regions for the monitoring. So when there is an issue that requires a decision, it is at that point that I'm informed. So I was not in a position to monitor everything that happened in every constituency. I've just entered Accra from Brong-Ahafo, Ashanti region, and some parts of Eastern region. So I don't know the details about what must have happened there, but I'm aware that the decision to put the elections on hold involved me.
I'm glad, because I'm sure you've had snippets of information, and as General Secretary, my question to you is, are you worried about these isolated cases of mayhem being recorded across the country?
No, I don't think anything that happened today could be, go by that description of mayhem at all. You know, when there's a contest for power, there will be anger and disagreements. And that is precisely what happened in some flashpoints. I don't think anything that can be described as mayhem at all. We are very, very satisfied about the turnout of proceedings. It's been generally peaceful. Everywhere I monitored in Brong-Ahafo, it's been generally peaceful. Upper West been generally peaceful. Northern region, Upper East, generally peaceful. Central region, virtually everywhere. Eastern region was a region we had identified a lot of hotspots, but we were pleasantly surprised that there wasn't any major difficulty. So throughout the country, the conduct of our voters has been very appreciable.
I see. That's quite interesting, and I'm sure the NPP might debate you on that. But maybe my final question to you before you go, General, particularly in the Ashanti region, we're told that in 12 constituencies, for instance, New Edubiasi, Busumtri, Agona, Tepa, they recorded shortages with parliamentary ballot papers, and so they would have to vote on Sunday. Is this worrying to you?
Not at all. We knew that was going to happen. It's not only parliamentary ballot papers that were short delivered, it affected the presidential ballot papers too. Because there was a major difficulty in printing the provisional register that was exhibited, which was corrected later. So it increased when the real, those who could not find their names on the provisional register were included. We realized that there was a major jump in the registration figures across the region. Meanwhile, the order for the ballot papers had already been given. And so, in some of the constituencies, you realize that the ballot papers were printed according to the provisional register at that time, and we didn't anticipate major changes, but the major changes were discovered on the field, and so that is the reason why the ballot papers were short delivered. And between yesterday, this morning, and then this afternoon, all the differences have been sorted out, and the materials have been sent to the region, and I'm told the region has also dispatched them to the various constituencies in readiness for tomorrow's election.
I said my last question, I beg of you, General. I'm sure you're very tired. This is going to be my final question to you. So on a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rate the process?
Come again, I didn't hear that.
On a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rate the voting process?
I've never engaged in that type of activity. We are in the process of putting together our various observations and so on. So I cannot observe just 3 regions and then be drawing conclusions for the whole country.
But
So
I'm sure you've not regretted. I'm sure you've not regretted expanding the electoral college, have you?
No, not at all. We are very, very excited about what has happened. And I'm sure all Ghanaians are happy, and they will join us in the excitement. Because I have seen people keenly monitoring the results as they are announced in the media houses and so on. So it's a good thing. Everything will start with some difficulties. And remember, we are dealing with human nature. Perfection is an attribute that can only describe God and the angels who live in heaven. We live here on earth and we are called human beings. And so if you want to wait and do anything so perfectly that you will not have any hitch, then you end up doing nothing. So we are happy that we have made this major breakthrough. And as we move along, we will be polishing it. And we will never regret. We are only hoping that other political parties will join us in that effort.
All right. We appreciate your time. Johnson Asiedu Nketia is the General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress.